Welcome to the live Q&A where we're talking about how to grow your business. Now, not just a trade business, really any business, but if you're in the trades, tonight we're going to talk about things that will literally help you grow your business. So first of all, this is Plumbing Live Q&A with Roger Wakefield. Yes, that is me. If you want to learn plumbing, you want to try receiving the best information, and if you believe your opinion matters and you want it to be heard, but you also want to hear the opinion of others, if you really have a love for getting into and better at the trades, you want to start your own company, you want to learn to grow your business, and you want to have a freaking awesome time doing it, well, I think that you will like your options here. Whether the information, facts, whatever, the data that you receive, you need, it's real, it's true, it's not just me. I've got a lot of great people that get in here, other plumbers, company owners, apprentices, people getting in the trades, tons of people, and we're having fun. So first of all, welcome to all y'all. How are you doing? There is supposed to be a comment pinned to the top. If you have questions that you want to guarantee get answered, click on it up at the top and we will make sure that those get answered. And I like that. Colton already jumps in and says, hey, congrats on 450K. First of all, there is the question. You got a question you want to make sure it gets asked tonight. It's pinned to the top. Jump in there, click. It'll take you over to Google Forms. Fill it out, and we'll get you. Presley's Toy World Safari. How are you doing? Good to see you in here. You know, Colton, this is a big deal. And guys, if you don't know yet, you haven't seen anything like that, it'll scroll by over here on the bar every now and then. We hit 450,000 subs just the other day, which is a great thing. I love that, and I'm really going to look because you know that's one cool goal. But I got to tell you, one of my favorite is we're getting close to 60 million views. We've actually got over 50 million. We're getting close to 55, headed towards 60 million views. And to me, that's really neat. Matthew McDonald, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, what's up? Put a question in the form. So I've already got one in there. Yes, I do. James says, hello, fellow Texan. How are you? Good to see you in here. What part of Texas are you in, James? I hope this isn't a dumb question, but can plumbers smoke weed? Well, plumbers can do anything anybody else can do, but you've got to be careful about the company you work for. What are their requirements? And if there's ever an injury on a job, this is the one thing, and this is a good question, really. And the reason I say that is if there's ever an injury on a job and somebody has to go to the hospital, they normally, like if it's a guy working with me and he falls and gets hurt, we normally both go in for a drug test, a UA, something like that. Man, that could be a problem. So what do y'all think? What do you think the rules and laws are where you work? And what do you think they should be? Just curious, because I like that. Great question. Frederick, 247-365 in the plumbing house. I like that. Good to see you. Oh, there it is right there. James says, I mean, howdy. You know what? I get it, brother. Lucky Youngberry, a channel member. How are you doing today? Says, morning again from Australia, brother. How are you? Man, it is wonderful. And I got a question. And Lakey, here's the deal. How is travel back and forth to Australia now? Because, look, I've wanted to go there and shoot video. How is things? How is things? How is plumbing done over there? How do y'all do things compared to the way we do it over here? Is there a difference? So, man, anyway, just saying. James is in Austin, happened to work at a hair salon. James, you will think this is very funny, but I give you my word, I'm telling you the truth. I used to be a hairstylist too. I really did. If you think I'm joking, connect with Amber, who's my assistant, and she's actually in a room right next door right now. I used to be a hairstylist. That's where I met Amber. I had a hair salon, or yes, had a hair salon in a health club that she worked at many years ago. So Timothy Hayes Jr. says no smoking weed. Great answer on the weed question. You know, Timothy Hayes says can't smoke weed, just like you can't take prescription drugs that could impair yourself. Okay, so let me ask y'all this: if weed became legal in Texas, can you smoke weed at home at night? Because it's still going to show up in your UA, still going to show up in everything the next day. So that's my question. If you smoke weed tonight and tomorrow somebody gets hurt at work and you go take a UA, it's going to show up. But if it's legal in Texas, shouldn't you be allowed to do that at home on your own time? Just a question, because it was brought up by somebody else, not me. So Timothy, I agree with you there. Son Goku says, I feel like it should be like alcohol. As long as you aren't coming to work intoxicated and it's not affecting your performance, it should be fine on your own time. That's why I asked. Don't disagree. Is it worth the risk? About to start a TikTok. Oh, where'd that go? Boy, it jumped real fast on me. Like he says, please do. About to start a TikTok where I post all the lovely things we do on the job. Fantastic. Frederick says, just like drugs and alcohol, you can't be impaired at the time of the accident. Okay, but let me ask you this, Frederick. A UA is going to come back positive if I smoked a week ago, and I don't smoke, so this really doesn't bother me. But as a business owner, I've asked this question before. So if I smoke a week ago and somebody gets hurt today, not me, somebody else, and I have to go take a UA and it comes back positive, that doesn't mean anything. It means I smoked a week ago. It's not bothering me now. So that's my question. Timothy Hayes says, is it worth the risk? Truck drivers can't do it. So Timothy, they can't even do it on their own time? Just asking. James says, are you a handyman? I hope you're not asking me that. Man, I really hope you're not. Sean Strong, what is happening, crew? Guys, if you have not checked out Sean Strong on Instagram, Sean is still boom _ the plumber. But also Sean runs my Discord. Sean runs the subreddit. Sean runs a lot of stuff. Maybe I work for Sean. I need to figure that out. Sean says, I'm out in the hills and don't know if my service will hold or not, but glad to be in here. Good to have you here. Scott or Ryan Scott Miller says, in 22 years, over hundreds of slab leaks fixed. I have never tunneled underneath the slab or jackhammered a floor to fix one. So you do everything as a reroute, and apparently you don't find sewer leaks because you have to get to it to repair it some way. Am I correct? All right, so let's jump over because I know I have a special question in the form from Matthew McDonough. Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, what's up? My question about a call I got. Received a call for a leak. When I got there, there was a pinhole and a 1/2 inch copper. Put a hose clamp with rubber so it stopped leaking. Prepared my equipment for the repair. Owner came out and said, thanks for the repair, and tried to pay me. I told him I wasn't done. That's not properly repaired, but he said, yes, you're done. So because of that, I refused to charge. Did I do the right thing? Yeah, if that's what I'd have put on, I wouldn't have charged either. I probably wouldn't have done that. And here's why I say that. I just shut the water off because you run into this. Hey, I did this temporarily. And they're like, no, it's good. Don't come back. And it's like, well, this isn't fixed right. They're like, look, it's not leaking, so I'm fine. I think by not charging him, you did the right thing. I would have wrote in the estimate or invoice or whatever, even though it's a $0 invoice. Hey, here's what I did. Explain it and say, this is not the repair. I explained it to the homeowner. I'd even have the homeowner sign it and say, look, if you sign this, I won't charge anything. It just says that I did a temporary repair and you told me to stop. I try not to do temporary repairs because that's what you run into. People are like, well, it works. Let's leave it here till it doesn't, and we'll go from there. Frederick says, I think that Colorado and Washington State have these laws in place already. They've been testing the system for a couple of years. We should be ready for to test the rest of the states when they legalize it. Get it? Lori Figueroa, how are you doing? Really didn't matter what type of weed you smoke. It's all laced with something that affects your ability in one way or another. If you're doing it before you work, then it will affect you somehow. And Lori, I agree with that. But my question is, what if they do it the night before? What if they do it a week ago and it's legal in the state? It's still going to show up in their blood system. So, man, I'm just curious because, look, it's not legal in Texas. We've kind of had the same type discussions. I don't think it's going to be okay to do it because it will show up. And if it's in your blood system, people could say, well, it does affect you to an extent. So I don't know. That'll be interesting. James says, no offense, I need to be a good at home construction when I move back to the USA. I want to build a real bat cave. That would be cool. Ricardo Enriquez says, okay, so currently I'm a custodian. I've been here for 10 years. My friend is hiring for branch cutter cleaner for more cash and kind of don't know if I'm making the right call. You know what I mean? You've got to do what fits you. Just because your friend, look, man, it's tough to say. Ricardo, I always look at where can I make the most money long term. And what I mean by that is that's part of getting into the trades. Look, once I get my license, I can make good money. It may not make great money starting out, but you know what? I didn't know anything. So I can't expect to make great money. But, man, in the long term, man, construction trades are going to be phenomenal. Like Youngberry says, is it common in the States for a disgruntled trades other than us to concentrate the traps on new builds? Oh, concrete the traps on new builds. Seems to be happening quite a bit at the moment in my area. The only place that we put traps in concrete would be a floor drain, a mop sink, or a shower. So not sure where you're talking about, but I mean, there's no way to get around that. They've got to set down in the slab. Big Boss says, I was an apprentice in a plumbing workshop for 4 years. Would love to start my own business soon. Well, depending on where you're at in Texas, if you put your 4 years in too long ago, you're not going to be able to get credit for that unless you had an apprentice card, unless it was registered, the whole 9 yards. But I mean, you need to get back in plumbing and start get going and get used to it again. Justin Groot Jr. says they can test the levels of THC in your system through lab testings. Okay. I like that. Through lab tastings. I know what you meant. I just thought that was cute. James says, when do I start? I don't have any skills in the trades, but happen to learn real quick. Man, start applying at plumbing companies in your area. Oh, purposely fill the traps with concrete. I don't know if y'all saw a video I did. There was a plumber that got pissed off. A plumber here in the Dallas area got pissed off because the customer wouldn't pay him 100% of his bill before he even finished. He was halfway through. He wanted all his money. And they said, no, finish your stuff, then you'll get it. They had already given him like 90% up front. So he was way ahead anyway. He got mad and came over there on the weekend and poured concrete down the lead bins. I'd have shot him. I mean, I'm just telling you. If it was me in my house and he did that, I'd have found him. Probably wouldn't have shot him, but I'd have hog-tied him and carried him down to the police department. So y'all better do something. If I see him out on the street again, then I might. I'm joking, not really. But man, people are doing crazy stuff. I get it. So here's what I want to talk about first is if you own your own business, and how many? Okay, we've got almost 75. That's where we normally do it. Do me a favor and put a note in here. Number one, where are you at? What part of the country? What part of the world are you in? And what do you do? Are you a plumber? Are you a manager? Are you a superintendent? Hey man, look at this. My rotational camera's working today. I love my slider. So what do you do? And the reason that I ask is that if you own your own business, I want to know, are you getting out and networking? And people tell me all the time, look, plumbers don't network. Tradespeople don't network. Electricians don't, HVAC techs don't, roofers don't. None of us get out and network. And I got to tell you, I generated over $300,000 in revenue from networking. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to talk about using social media to grow. I'm going to talk about using video. I don't know if y'all seen, but every now and then I make videos. And I'm also going to talk about keywords and what keywords you might want to be found for. We send a lot of money to Google as company owners to make our phones ring. And the thing that I want to talk about is how, if you start your own company, and a lot of people, well, I'll wait till everybody finishes putting in their own stuff. But if you're interested in starting your own company, or if you're going to own your own company one day, just put #me. That way I'll know how many people in here are thinking, look, I do want to work for myself one day. Daniel Lopez says if you're in LA area, the unions have training locations. Carpenters Union Training Center in Whittier, and the Pipe Fitters Union takes applications once a year. And, look, I've been out in LA. I've actually gone up to Ann Arbor through the instructor training program with some of the instructors, some of the trainers there from LA, and they got some good people. Still, Local 1 in New York, to me, I think is probably one of the best UA training centers in the nation. James says, I will consider that. And Timothy Hayes Jr. says he is in Connecticut. I got some friends that have plumbing companies up there. Connecticut, Boston. My website guy's in Connecticut. He's phenomenal. Frederick 247365 says, I definitely saw that video where that bad plumber who should not have a license anymore for that concrete down the drain. The bad thing is, man, nothing happened. The police department said they couldn't prove enough. I don't even think the Texas State Board did anything. That to me is sad. Mountain Park Plumbing, Phoenix, Arizona. I am the owner operator. That's good, Matt, because what I'm going to talk about today is how to use networking, how to use social media, how to use video, and how to use keywords to grow your business. And this is really grow it for free. Now, you may have to bring a stepson, a child. You may have to hire an intern, something like that. But, man, I'm going to give you some stuff today that's going to help. Jason says, Pocatello, Idaho, plumber, local 648. Good deal. Jason, my question to you is, does local 648 do residential, commercial, both? What all do they do? Matt Tobias says we do residential plumbing. Timothy Hayes, Connecticut, owner. Good deal. Jordan Pandab says, just started my own business in Tennessee, plumbing and electrical. Look at you go, man. An overachiever. I love it. Okay, I'm going to pin this one up to the top. Sean Strong put in the link there to the Reddit and the Discord group. If y'all are into Discord, man, it's a great group. I get in there every now and then, answer questions or talk to somebody or something. The subreddit, if you've got videos, pictures, anything like that of bad trade work, great trade work, whatever it is, put it in there. I get a lot of homeowners, and I love, look, Sean is fantastic. Thank you for everything you do. I love it because people will get in and post pictures. Hey, I've got a problem. By the time I get in, Sean or Steve Arlo or somebody's already like, hey, this is what you need to do. So, man, I've got some great people in here, Sean. Thank you very much. Autumn Rain says, hey, Roger, could you make a detailed video on how to read plumbing plans? Man, I've got to do that, but here's my problem. I don't have any plumbing plans. I don't do a lot with blueprints anymore, so that's kind of tough. But I do have fun, and I've got some training books I could look at and talk about. So that could be a possible. Most places charge for this information. And look, the cool thing, there's a reason. Man, when you take as much time to really teach somebody as long as it takes to read blueprints, it takes a while and you're going to spend a lot of time. But, man, it's well worth learning. Can you also take Nathaniel Lopez says you can also take a course at the Louisiana, the Los Angeles Trade Tech and apply at LADWP, Union Hall, and the city website. Man, I love that. Guys, here's the deal. And this is why I talk about everything that I do on social media. Is there are over 900,000 unfilled trade jobs in the United States in construction right now. 900,000. Do you know anybody who needs a job? Because if you do, getting into the trades is a smart thing to do. And I'll tell you why it's even smarter right now than probably any other time ever is there's more people retiring right now because the average age of the tradesman is getting higher and higher. So you young people that are out there, and by young, I mean like younger than me, even somebody just out of high school, just out of college, it doesn't matter. If you went to college and you thought, yeah, look, I'm above the trades, I'll never do that. I'm going to make more money. Tradespeople become millionaires. Okay. All I can tell you is get in there, learn it, because 5 years from now, I truthfully think every plumber that is good is going to be making $100 an hour on the check. Just telling you, y'all seen the way the inflation, the numbers are going. There's less people getting in the trades than there are getting out. So that means the ratio is going to get even smaller and smaller and smaller. And here's what's going to happen. When I need plumbers and a great plumber comes in, I'm going to pay him more. So I want y'all to think about that because the opportunity is yours if you're thinking about getting into the trades. Frederick 247365 says journeyman plumber in the DFW area, which is great. I am too. Sean Strong says, I am still Boom the Plumber on Instagram, and that is Boom _ the Plumber. If you're not following him on Instagram, if you're not connected, please do so. Sean's great. Sean actually came down. We do, if you're in the Dallas area, and we normally do it last Saturday of every month. If you're not following me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everywhere else, you may want to. We put out content all the time about what we're doing and where we're doing it. But the last Saturday of every month, we try to do a networking event. We do it at the truck yard in Dallas. And man, we buy people beer, we buy people food, come out and visit for a couple hours and get to know other tradespeople. And it's not just plumbers, electricians, roofers, HVAC tech. And I'm throwing out for a new friend of mine, pipe insulators too, mechanical pipe insulation, not just pipe, HVAC duct, stuff like that. Okay, so Autumn Rain says, yes, I may want to do my own company. James says, yes. Matthew McDonough, always. Boulder City, Nevada. Research and development, military defense contractor dealing with HVAC and APU equipment. Massachusetts, me. Jordan Welty says, if you own a business and don't network with all of the social networking sites in this day and age, you could be seriously missing out. And isn't that the truth? I'm part of over 10 real estate and real estate investment pages on Facebook, Nextdoor, Instagram, Thumbtack, and Home Guide. It's invaluable in today's age with the amount of time people are on the internet these days. Owner and operator of Welty Plumbing LLC. Good for you. Man, I'm right there with you. It works. Frederick 247365 says me. Jeff Kendall, local union number 83. Good to have you in here. Ricardo Prado says licensed plumbing inspector in the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. I'm actually headed to South Texas. I will be in Corpus Christi. I know, man, where'd that come from? Because that's where the Rio Grande Valley is. I will be in San Antonio Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I'm actually speaking at an event down there called Sticker Shock. It's a speaking event. So if y'all are down there, reach out, say hello. Marcus Santos says, how likely is it to find weekend part-time work to break into the trade and gain experience? You know, I've mentioned that to people before, Marcus, and here's why. I truthfully think some of these bigger companies might like to have an apprentice to come in and work on the weekend. That way they're not having to pay overtime for their normal apprentices. But then again, this way their normal apprentices are learning faster and getting a truck quicker. To me, here's what I would do, Marcus. I would say, is it possible for you to find a full-time job doing this and then get a part-time job doing something else? And I want to tell you why I say that. But before everybody starts, busting my cojones or anything. Look, when I first started in the trades, I couldn't afford to make a living. So I had a part-time job as a bartender. I had a part-time job building fences and redwood decks. I've done a lot of things on the side, but plumbing was always my main gig. The reason being, I wanted to get that license as fast as I could. I wanted to learn the trade as fast as I could. So, what I would tell you, Marcus, is man, see if you can find a full-time plumbing gig and do the other stuff part-time. That way, you'll get that plumbing license faster. And me, my thought is if I hire you and you only work 8 hours a week in plumbing, it would take you 15 years to get the same amount of experience that somebody else working every day is getting. Because they're getting 5 days a week, you're getting one. So you got to multiply that. Well, really, it's 4 years to get your journeyman license. Multiply that times 5. So really 20 years. And that tells me you're not that interested. And I don't mean that bad. It may be, look, I just can't afford to do it. Well, then you got to find out what can you do in the evenings and on the weekends to make more money, to do things different. Timothy Hayes Jr. says never had a problem finding and landing work so far, but finding help is the hard part about growing, brother. And that's why I love the idea of having an apprentice in every truck. I mean, think about that. If you've got an apprentice in every truck, you are training your people. You're training your future. You're training your future technicians. And if you build your pricing accordingly, it'll pay for itself. But here's the cool thing. By the time they turn out, they already know how to use a system. Say you've got Jobber. Jobber's on estimating, detailing, marketing. I mean, everything. And I said detailing. It's an estimating, invoicing, it's marketing, it's so many things. Your price book, it's all your stuff, and one of the most affordable that's out there. Great way to start. But say I'm a journeyman plumber and I'm training an apprentice. Oh man, why wouldn't I train him to use Jobber and say, look, here's where we're at. Put this in your invoice. Put this here. Put this here. Put this here. I start doing all this. Now he's learning it. So now when he's in a truck, guess what? He already knows how to do everything because he's been doing it for me. Now, after a year or two, when you put an apprentice with him, he can hand it to them. Now he can teach them. Guys, if we're not training our future, man, we're missing the boat. So that's a big deal to me. Jason Gruitt Jr. says, unfortunately, we currently have one strictly based residential and service plumbing company in my union. My union is not known for plumbing. I'm about to test out, then I'll travel. But I joined their fitter welder apprenticeship. So I have a few more years of schooling they expect me to complete. Well, good for you. And Jason, here's what I'll tell you. There's a lot of good combi unions out there that do plumbing and pipe fitting. I used to tell everybody, even coming through the pipe as a pipe fitter welder, look, get your apprentice card, keep it, and take that test. Get that plumbing license in your pocket. One day, you'll love it. James says, do you do the plumbing at your house? Well, I would not let anybody else do the plumbing at my house. So that's a big yes. Autumn Rain says, it would be appreciated, man. Thank you. You're a great influence in plumbing community. Guys, here's the deal. I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm just trying to teach y'all the right way to do things. And look, I appreciate that. And I don't want this to sound bad. I love what I get to do. And I get to do it because of all of y'all. Y'all literally, man, y'all make it where I can talk plumbing all day long. So thank y'all for what y'all do. And I do want to make the plumbing community better. I want us to learn to work with other trades. That's why we're doing the trade talks, the networking event last Saturday of every month. We invite all the trades. It's not just plumbers. We want everybody to understand, look, you're all welcome here. We want to get to know you. We want to get to meet you. We want to refer you. You start building a community like that, it's amazing. Ryan Scott Miller says, I sleeve a PEX line through the copper first, then hook it to a high lift jack and jack the copper out of the sleeve. When the copper's out of the sleeve, you can push a new PEX line through. I'm guessing they don't sleeve the water lines where you live. Not like that. The purpose of sleeving the line through the copper first is if it breaks, it will still pull the copper out. I like that. Code Abernathy. Cody Abernathy, how are you? Says, just finding your pages everywhere, and man, do I enjoy them. It's a dying trade out there. And the problem I see is they don't have craftsmanship anymore of the service side of stuff. Cody, I agree with you. Number one, I love that you're finding my stuff everywhere. We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Matter of fact, let me find my Facebook group. I got a Facebook group that I think is amazing, and literally it fits in with right what we're talking. How to make your phone ring, and when you own your own business, that's really what it's all about. I think it'll be right here, maybe not. Did everybody have a wonderful weekend? And I ask that because, man, I did. I went fishing with my little brother. Got to get out and okay, so that's not it. Don't know why it keeps taking me there. See if that one does it. The cool thing about it, got to go fishing with my little brother. Went striper fishing. Have you ever gone striper fishing at Lake Texoma? First of all, and the reason that I ask, that's not it. Yeah, it is. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share this right here. I'm gonna put a comment down here, and there is the Facebook group. It's the trade talks, but it's about how to make your phone ring. And if you're a business owner and you want to get your business to grow, that's what we're talking about tonight. So this would be a good thing to jump in. Jordan, what is a pain? Oh, maybe pulling all that stuff through. All right. Frederick 247 says $100 an hour. Sounds great, doesn't it? I know. Ron Scott Miller, love your show and your videos. You are the man. No, I just do what people tell me to do really well. Not really. Yeah, not really. I don't do that very well at all. Look, I mentioned it a while ago, guys. I love what I get to do, and I owe y'all for it. High Peaks Home says, I've been trying to hire for months now. It is so hard to find anyone who's just willing to show up. That is tough. I mean, do you know how the plumbing works at your home? If so, how do you know? James, I do know. I mean, I've ran cameras through it. I've looked at it. I know what I've got. So, yes, sir. Ron Lovell, how are you? Good to see you in here. Thompson Appliances, as an appliance repairman in DFW, I'm making close to 100 an hour already. So, guys, think about that. If he's working 40 hours a week, that's $4,000 a week. That's what plumbers are going to be making. That's what plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, and some roofers are going to be making in the next 4 to 5 years. Guys, if you're not in the trades, get in it. Jerry says, just got my journeyman license last Monday, moments ago, applied for your LLC. Well, okay, now, Jerry, where you at? Because in Texas, you've got to have your master's to apply for your LLC. So just asking. Melanin J says, how do you think open borders will affect the trades? If they open them the right way, Melanin, here's the deal. I've been saying for years, I wish that there was a national certification plumbing license. Actually, I wish there was a national MEP board, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Because think about this. If what happened during the big freeze here a year and a half ago, oh God, maybe it's just a year ago. Feels like, I guess it was about a year and a half ago. If what happened here at the time happened, we did not have enough plumbers to resolve the problem. We didn't have enough materials. But we opened up our trades and license and everything and said, hey, look, we need help. And we made it where people could come in really, really easy. So if there was a national certification, when something like that happened, anybody in another state not working could say, hey, look, I got a national license. I can go there and plumb with Roger tomorrow. All he's got to do is hire me, put me out on jobs. Guys, look, plumbers from around the country helped Texas out so much. And I mean, I got to tell you, it was wonderful. It was great having people call me saying, hey, look, I'm coming down to help. Jerry H says, looking to hit a responsible master plumber, I probably mean hire. Yeah. And here's the thing. Well, Mr. I say they don't have to live in Houston. As long as they're part of the company and do things, you can hire one anywhere. So now I see why you're filing for your LLC. Timothy Hayes Jr. says, when I started, I had a second part-time job, was an equestrian sanitary control engineer. Yeah, I've done that work too. GSO 125 says, in Massachusetts, I'm only allowed one apprentice with my master's and one for any journeyman I have. I'm guessing that's the same everywhere. So could not really use a part-time apprentice. Uh, here's my question is, I can hire 20 apprentices. I've got to make sure they're under the direct supervision of a journeyman. So what my thought is I would see, how do I get two of them? If you can get one that has additional endorsements, like apprentices here can get drain cleaning, registered drain cleaning, utility installer, different things like that. That's something I would be looking at. Here's my old Yetis. How y'all like that? I love my plumber. I had fun making those. All right. James says, do you get used to the smell? Smells never bothered me. It is what it is. Brother Dustin DeWeese, Tejas Plumbing. Look, Dustin's another one. Y'all heard me talking about the networking event that we do for the trades. Dustin comes down to that every month. Dustin and Ricky Belt help me sponsor that thing, help me do it. Wonderful people. Dustin, I really need to call you. That leak detection equipment stuff. Oh, and I carried it out of here. Anyway, yeah, I need to talk to you about that. I just invested in a business. So pretty cool stuff. Good to see you in here, Dustin. Thank you very much. Last Saturday at the truck yard. See you there. McClap Cheeks. Oh. How much money do I need to start a plumbing business? Man, that's a good question, because I did not have any money put up when I started my business. I literally walked out from another company that was toxic and started my own business with nothing in the bank, and grew it to where we were doing about 1.2 million a year, which Dustin does that out of one truck. So, not a bad thing. Dustin says, we were at the pool all day Saturday. Big Dustin just installed a pool at his house. I see him sitting on Facebook. It is beautiful. So there is the link to the trade talks. Guys, join that. Go over, ask some questions, or it'll ask you some questions. Go do what it says, and it's good stuff. My brother Chris, Construction Cronies, is in the house. Good to see you. I hope everything's going well. Talking about trades, a metal stud carpenter, a framing carpenter with metal studs, and neat stuff. Go check him out. Check out his channel. See what he does up in Canada. Eddie Vasquez says, I know too many people in my life that are perfectly happy being miserable where they are at working at Target or some warehouse slave jobs. I tell them about plumbing, but they're just not interested. And Eddie, it may be in the way you tell them. And I don't mean that bad, but I used to go grocery shopping at night just so I didn't have to deal with all the people. So I'd go shopping at night, and if there was a night stalker, and I don't mean the blood sucking kind, I would literally kind of move down the aisle real slow and sit and watch them. And if they were busy humping and getting stuff done, I'd come up to them and say, "Hey, are you going to do this forever?" And they always look at you and laugh, and they're like, "No." It's like, "Well, what are you going to do?" They're like, I'm not sure yet. And I say, "What if I told you I could help you find a job where you can make $100,000 a year and you won't have any college debt?" Then they're interested. So then I tell them, "Look, I'm an instructor. I was at the time. I'm an instructor in the union, and the union is always looking for good people. I've been watching you work, and I think you're a hard worker. I don't want to take you away from work right now, but I'd give them a business card and say, look, if you're interested, call me. Call me during the day. We'll talk, and I'll tell you where to go and who to talk to." And I'll tell you what, I recruited a lot of people into it that way. You've got to figure out where they're at, where they want to be, and how you can help them get there. Then you'll get them interested in the trades. James says, "Are you a home contractor too? If not, do you have plans to be?" I'm not. I'm strictly a plumber. We work under whatever we need to. Chris says, "Construction Crony says, whatever you do not be a drywaller." Yeah. If y'all want to learn more about that, go check out my other buddy Paul Peck, Drywall Tube. Matter of fact, everybody go and subscribe. God, he does a lot of good stuff. Uh, go, go, subs- go subscribe to Chris, Construction Cronies, Paul Peck, Drywall Tube, Electrician U, Dustin Stelzner down in Austin. Great people. Jerry says, in Houston, looking to hire an RMP. I saw that a while ago. Construction Crony says, open borders are not the problem. The problem is companies taking advantage of immigrants and paying them less. And then a few years later, our wages drop. Boy, and that's the truth. That's what's affecting the trades in Alberta, Canada. No unions out here. Companies imported foreign workers. Now we all get paid way less. The rule is usually 4 apprentices to every man. Wow. Every journeyman. Are there plumbers that just do it as a hobby? No, not normally, because you've got to have license, you've got to have insurance, you've got to have a lot of stuff in place in order to do it right. Jerry said, Roger, what was your first job when you started your own plumbing company? Man, it's really funny, Jerry, because that's what made me start my company. I had walked out of another company and really, I did that on a Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I didn't even worry about it. Sunday morning, I woke up to my phone ringing. And I was kind of awake, so I answered the phone, and look at that, what's up, cuz? Uh, but I got a call, and it was somebody that I had done some side work for because I had already had my insurance, already had everything in place. I just hadn't really opened my company. But they called and said, "Uh-oh, Sean, what do you mean my go subscribe is directing you to his networking?" So anyway, sorry, a squirrel just jumped out right in front of me. But the cool thing is, I got a phone call, and it was somebody I'd done work for before, and they said, Roger, look, I know you're busy, but lightning hit our house last night. We have a leak in our attic, a gas leak. The fire department turned it off in the middle of the night, but we need to get it turned back on. What can you do? And I said, well, man, it just so happens I can get to you today. So I went and registered in that city, got the CSST, came back, did everything I was supposed to, contacted the plumbing inspector, got them out there. I mean, I jumped through hoops to make it happen, but it happened. And man, that makes it well worth it. And Chris, thank you for the super sticker. Don't know if you heard me say that a while ago. I saw that up there. I do appreciate that. John Woodall says, how long were you a one-man shop? What made you decide when to expand? And John, this is a good one, because if you're going to make money, first of all, you got to understand, for the first few years, you're going to work harder than you ever have. And I know that to be true because I've been there and done it. So I literally worked until I was working 40, 50 hours a week. I was doing everything. I was out. And when I say I was working that much, I was running calls that much. Then I would come home and try and do invoicing, ordering, anything that I could do. I eventually hired my wife at the time to help me, help answer the phones, help do this, help do that. But when I got so busy that I was turning calls away, I hired somebody else. And it was somebody I knew, somebody I trusted. I started letting them run 40 hours a week, and I would run any extra. I would run anything over that. But that also freed me up more time to get out and network and grow my business, which I was really good at doing in the beginning. And it did. It made the phone ring. Chris says Paul Peck rules. He's an amazing taper. If you do not, or if you do go into drywall, do the topping, they're paid way more than boarders. Paul knows it. Paul knows it all. He is a master. And I'll tell you what, Paul's a great guy. He's good to watch. He's good to learn from. Uh, Chris knows him. I know him. He is fantastic. Tay Lee, what's up, cuz? What up, cuz? What up, cuz? Lynn Montesino says, if you have a business, do you still need to get tested? Yes, you do. Sean Strong, see, I don't know what you mean by that. is go subscribe directly to networking. Go network. Look, here's the deal, and this is neat because I hope you're wrong. If you hit subscribe, I hope that you're subscribing, or I hope that's what it's taking you to do. But here's what I tell you. And I see Joseph Lalibert just stopping by to say hi from this lovely state of Missouri. I will be in Alabama tonight. Love your show. Love to see the stash still there. Man, I look, guys, I enjoy the heck out of what I get to do. So thank you very much. Yeah, if y'all aren't subscribed to, look, we're going to be doing some cool giveaways too. How many of y'all were in here last week? Put hashtag rigid if you were here last week. We gave away, and it was like a $6,000 ProPress kit, the Rigid P350 RP351. Man, if you were in here, put hashtag rigid because I'm telling you, man, it was great. It was a good show. It was great having rigid in the house too. Thompson Appliances, where can I get information for the Saturday meetups? On all my other social media, we may put it in the chat or may put it in our community. If you're subscribed to me here, if you're connected to me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, everywhere we're at, man, we put it everywhere. So that will help you out. James says, does plumbing give you joy? I tell you what, it does to me. I love what I do. I love looking at a building and figuring out what I think the problem is and diagnosing it and fixing it. But I also love building stuff. So building a new building, man, it's cool. I love what I get to do. Ryan Scott Miller says, I'm taking my Okia Master Plumbing test next month. Watch your videos and order the study guides you recommend. They're definitely a lot of help. Thank you for the great advice. Now, Oklahoma, I swear, Ryan Scott, I read that and I thought it said Okia, like Ikea. Ryan, I was actually in Kingston, Oklahoma this last weekend. Went up to the OU side. Not OU. I hate even saying that word. I'm sorry. Went up to the Oklahoma side. Stayed in some cabins up there. It was amazing. Something Cabin Adventures. Dude, it was a blast. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'll tell you what, and I asked this a while ago and I was going somewhere with it. How many of y'all have ever been striper fishing at Lake Texoma? I literally, man, that they've got the limit is 10 striper and only 2 of them can be over 20 inches. We threw back 8 fish, just me and my brother. And I mean, we were pulling in 25, 26-inch stripers. Man, they're wonderful. Had a blast. James says, what other occupation would you compare plumbing to? Electrical, HVAC, stuff like that, but plumbing is the best. Chris says, plumbing is the only thing I can't do. I always walk away soaking wet. I can run duct, wire you up, and basically do anything but plumbing. And it's not the smell. I just have 4 kids. That's funny. Sean Strong says, go subscribe to Architectural Sheet Metal 101. Yeah, that's another one. I didn't even mention them. God, you're right. There's so many good YouTube channels out there about construction, between Construction Cronies, Architectural Sheet Metal 101, Paul Peck Drywall Tube, Master Electrician U. There's some good people out there. Sean says, go subscribe to Architectural Sheet Metal 101, Paul Peck Drywall Tube, subscribe to Electrician U. Yeah. At first I read that and I thought it said unsubscribe from Electrician U. That's pretty funny. No, that's good because they are all great guys. Chris says, keep the handlebars. Man, I can't shave them off. How do you feel about being a field cost estimator? I tell you what, my son is working with me now on a different project I was talking about a while ago that I need to talk to Dustin about. I just invested in a leak detection equipment company, and I'm bringing in my son to help me do a lot of stuff with it. So I think it'll be good. But he used to be an estimator, and man, he loved it. He made good money. He enjoyed it. So it was good. Yeah, we did have a few people in here for the rigid deal. I love that. Papa Potato Facebook channel. How are we doing? Chris says, hope you have a Harley to go with that. Brother, I do. I had sold my Harley about 3 months ago. I got a new 2022 Street Glide, 22 Street Glide, and I added 2 subwoofers to it. Man, I love it. Rigid. Roy Fox has just purchased the Milwaukee Drainline Inspection Camera and Locator. Thanks to your videos. Wish you would give it away. Dude, we gave one away. We gave away the Drainline Inspection Cleaner and a locator. So, man, you should have been here. And the good thing is, we're talking about doing it again. Guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you should be, just because of stuff like that. We give away, I mean, this year, God, I think we've given away $30,000, $40,000 worth of plumbing tools. Man, I ought to kick myself in the butt for that. Wow. Did I really do that? I should have kept them and hit them under the table or something. Jerry H says rigid. Absolutely. Papa Potato Facebook channel says, I missed the giveaway 2 hours late. Was helping a customer at the same time. Product looks pretty good, as I am a Milwaukee man. Joseph Loudbert says, I wish I was. My brother-in-law would love it. I tell you what, guys, the stuff that I get to see and play with and do, and look, I'm going to tease y'all. All I'm going to tell you is I got a tool in here that's not even out yet. And it's for me to play with and test and kick the tires on and see how good it is. And I've already played with it. And I got to tell you, pretty cool stuff. Just throwing you a bone out there, because here's the deal. I'm going to be giving some stuff away. Can't talk about it right now. But matter of fact, I think coming up, I'll tell you what, I will talk about one. I believe we're going to be giving away another rigid K60 sewer machine. So if that ain't enough to make you subscribe, just get on out of here, man. And see, this is bad. Look, I got 60 people in here. I only got 19 thumbs up. Somebody does not like what I'm doing. So, man. John Willoff says rigid. Absolutely. Steve Samir says go away. I think he says, if you ain't giving me a thumbs up yet, go away. Danny Martin Jr. says best thing to break up commercial main drain lines. Man, how big, how solid, commercial. Man, boy, that's a tough one. Maybe a big hydrojetter. Sean Strong, don't you even. Adrian Vince says tip for North Carolina plumber's license. Man, study. The UPC study guide, the IPC study guide. Guys, if y'all use them right and go through and mark all the right answers and just read it like a book, it makes any of these plumbing tests so easy to take. Jerry H says, what hit recommended pay scale for your first hire for tradesman plumber? Hourly, commission, salary. Well, if it's hourly, it's going to be a residential, a tradesman is going to be about $25 an hour commission. They're hitting around 20%, maybe a little under, but they're about. So the opportunity is great. How many of y'all get out and network? How many of y'all get out, go networking every week, find a networking group that you can get involved with? I'm involved with Master Networks. If you hadn't checked it out, man, check it out, because it's nationwide. Now, they're not in every city yet, but they're good. I think they're actually starting to do groups in Canada and maybe Mexico, not sure. So do you get out and network? I'm big in Master Networks. I also love Network After Work. So the opportunities out there are phenomenal if you'll check into them. Recommended pay scale. Oh, I already talked about that. So commission, salary. Yeah, they don't go on salary. Cool new channel. Hope you do more of these live chats. James, I do these live chats every Monday and a half for the last year and a half. Come on, brother. I like it. Jerry H says, also, what's the common wages for hiring an RMP? Advertising and permits only. Well, number one, Jerry, you're not supposed to do that. The RMP is supposed to be part of your business. But I mean, I've seen RMPs get $3-4 grand a month. It all depends. Josh says, how would you get your inventory on a new plumbing business? Nobody will give me a loan unless I've got a year in the business. And Joshua, this is good. And I love this question, because I tell people all the time, start building your relationships with your suppliers now. Literally, for me to get an account at Ferguson, I picked up the phone, called them, said, "Hey, I need, $10,000 a month credit line." They're like, "Okay." Same thing with the one I had before them. Start building relationships now. Start every time you go in the supply house, ask who the manager is. Man, how y'all doing? Get to talking. I'm just letting you know I'm opening my own business one day, and I want to use y'all. So work on it. GSO 125 says, I wish I found your channel earlier. See, I'd be mad at everybody else in here and say, why didn't y'all share this information out? That way, maybe I would have learned. I'm just telling you. Danny Martin Jr. says building was built in 1890. Danny Martin, what building? Because I guess I completely missed that one. Jerry says, I can surely use a new sewer machine. Yeah, that sewer machine. Guys, this is a brand new rigid K60 that we're going to be giving away. I'm just telling y'all. Alex McCormick says, don't know how to give a thumbs up. I'm just a dumb plumber. Well, I'm a dumb plumber too. You look at the bottom right under the video and there's a thumb up. You hit that thumb. Come on, hit it for me. I'm going to tell you when it goes through. Ready? Hit it. Come on. Somebody hit the thumbs up. That way I can see the number change. I know it's working. It's coming. Okay, maybe not. If you feel the need to give me a thumbs down, just make sure you hit that button twice. Just saying. All right. John Woodard says, I believe that. And I am a subscriber. I believe that I'm a subscriber. Thank you very much. Marcus Santos says, I networked a bit through trade courses. Guys, if you're not getting out and networking, you really need to. Man, it's so easy to make your phone ring. So the first thing is networking. After that, social media. Learn to get into Facebook groups. And when you see people say stuff, comment. Go to my subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts. Start commenting on videos. Man, Sean would love that. I'd love that. Just when you see a comment, when you see a picture and somebody's like, hey, I don't know how to fix this, look at it and say, well, dude, all you do is undo this, remove that, pinch that, put this in, and boom, boom, boom. Start engaging with the people. Because then other people are going to say, like, man, I want to follow him. He's good. Taylor says, I'd love to network. I mainly drive out of the field, shake hands, and find work. I get it. Joshua C says, businesses already open. Things happen sooner than I'd hoped. Man, and sometimes it works that way. Joseph Lullaber in the house. Roger, you've been live streaming every Monday for 23 plus months. Brother, thank you. 2 years almost. Man, has it been that long? I need to quit then. Man, I'll tell you what, and I want to ask y'all something. Great time to do it because I started mentioning it to one of my sponsors today. I'm thinking about moving this live stream to Saturday. And I almost hate to ask, but if y'all would prefer Saturday, since most people aren't at work and have more free time and yada, 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 would you like Saturday? If you do, just put hashtag Saturday if you think that would be better. Because there's a lot of people. I mean, look, it's 5 o'clock here. It's 4 o'clock Mountain Time. It's 3 o'clock in California. Everybody in here that says they're in California, they ain't working right now. They're sitting in the van watching YouTube. Tell me again what companies y'all work for. I'm gonna call y'all's bosses. Blackmail coming up. No, but seriously, I thought about doing Saturdays live every morning at 10, 11, 12 o'clock. Again, hour and a half. Okay. High Peaks home. So Saturday, no. See, he's helping me keep my life normal. Josh says, but thanks. You're welcome. Danny Martin, a question about what to use to break up debris in a main line. The building was, there you go. Building was built in 1890. So I'm not sure about the size of what it's made of. I'd assume steel or lead. Wow. Man, that's a tough one. I'd still look at a hydrojetter because if you can get in there and get it cleaned up, and man, they've got some hydrojetter heads that are freaking amazing. But that's something that I would look at. Yeah, how are the materials? Yeah, what kind of condition are they in? Adrian Venice says, I'm an underground plumbing foreman. Was in commercial plumbing, doing everything for 2 years. Learned a lot. When do you know you're ready for a license? Man, Adrian, I think it's when you study And those of y'all that have heard me talk about the UPC, the IPC, the study guides, I prefer the UPC because you can go to the back, all the answers are there, highlight the correct answer on every question in the book, and then just go through and read it like a book. Now, don't get me wrong, when you get to the math, you get to the layout, you get to gas sizing, stuff like that, you're going to have to do a little bit of work. But if you can go through and answer those questions, read it like a book for a month or so, then go through and cover the correct answers, read the question. And if you don't know that question, if you don't know the answer 100% without a doubt, highlight that number in red. But if you know it, you know it, you know it, you know it, you don't do nothing. Now, after you're done, now you go back through and just start studying the red ones. Man, I'm telling you guys, I've done this for years. It works. All right, so we got one Saturday yes, one Saturday no. Alex McCormick figured it out. So we've got a yes, we've got a no. He figured it out. John says found the thumbs up button. I love it. Thank you very much. Joseph says, to be honest, listen to your show on Mondays because your positivity helps me get through the week. Joseph, I love that. I do. And you know that was my thing about Mondays was, look, it's a great way to start your week with just, man, just something there. So, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. MDK Jam says complete backflow service in Rockwall. Just hired third tester and busier than ever. I love that. MDK Jams, don't know if you know Dustin DeWeese. He was in here a while ago. Tejas Plumbing, a great guy. Manny Martin Jr. says, will do. Thanks. I love it. Ron Lovell says, what are the material shortages like in Texas? Just like they are everywhere else. They suck. Can't get anything right now in central Canada. PVC and wire, non-existent. Months of back orders. Now, I'll say this, we can at least get PVC and stuff. I'm not sure about wires and whatnot, but, you know, we can get pipe. Ron Lovell, no. That ain't even funny. Okay, so we've talked about networking. So now the next one is social media. Look, jump into Reddits, Facebooks, LinkedIn's, comments, videos, YouTube videos, and go through and read the comments. If I make a video, go through and read it. If you disagree with me, say, you know, hey, Roger, look, I don't necessarily agree. Here's what I think. If you're smarter than me, people are going to love it. They're going to be like, oh my God, this guy's right. They're going to want to follow you. They're going to want to connect with you. And that's big. So learn to get out and network. And what's cool about networking, and I've told a lot of you this, I used to go in my Texas Green plumbing shirt, and I actually had one on earlier today. People would come up to me and they'd be like, oh my God, you're a plumber. I said, no, really, I'm a drug dealer. The shirt just throws the police off. Well, they'd laugh at me. But then we'd stand there and talk about plumbing for 10, 20 minutes. And when you start talking about plumbing, other people come up to listen. It's like E.F. Hutton just started talking. Everybody stops to listen. So other people come up and listen. And then it's like, wow, you know what? I got a problem. Then they want to talk to you about it. They want to ask you about it. They want to tell you about a problem they had in the past. Did their plumber do a right job? The funny thing is, I never bashed other plumbing companies. They'd be like, well, you know what? I really had to been there. I'm not sure if they did you right or wrong, but you know, it sounds like what they did, you know, may have worked. And never bash other companies. It makes you look bad, even if they are bad. Now, if they've got video content of them pouring concrete down the drain, that may be a different story. Then go ahead, bash them. But get out and network. Talk to people, connect with people, talk about what you do. If you're a professional, you're licensed, you know what you're doing, man, you're not going to have any problem building relationships with people. It's going to be great. Then learn to do video. And I'll tell you the big 3 tips. Number 1, if you've got a phone, start doing video now. Shoot video, set up a tripod, buy a tripod if you need to, but start doing video. The 3 big tips I'll tell you is, number 1, find out what lens you're looking at. Know what you need to be looking at, because when you talk to somebody, you want to look them straight in the eye. Now, don't get me wrong. Every now and then I come to a side angle, but every now and then, if I'm serious, I'll turn and look at that one too and say, look, this is what's going on. That really is a big deal. But look that camera lens right in the eye, because you're talking to the one person watching. Right now, I'm talking to you. Didn't know that, did you? I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. All right. Now, when you talk to this person, you want to talk to them like like they're your best friend. The reason being, then you're connecting with them. If I just sit here and tell y'all stories about everybody else and I'm never talking to you, I'm never looking you in the eye, I'm looking over here when that camera's on, looking over here when that camera's on, I'm never looking you in the eye, and I'm not saying the word you. And now I'm not talking to you like you're my friend, but instead I'm teaching you. So step number one is do this. Then you need to do this. And if you don't do this, you're just stupid. But then you need to do this. Then you need to do this. And that may be the way you talk to your friends. So it's okay. But guys, get good at video, because if you can make videos on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on wherever about what you do, why you do, and how you do it, you're going to connect with people. And I talked earlier about people buy from people they know, love, trust, and they're connected to. So it really can be a big, big deal. Danny Martin Jr. says, I'm a maintenance tech and want to improve my knowledge of plumbing. My facility is commercial, but has a gang of residential plumbing and fixtures. Should I take a residential or commercial plumbing? You know, here would be my thought to you. If you want to work for someone the rest of your life, think about commercial. If you ever think you may want to open your own company one day, I would study residential, because that's going to be, oh God, it's going to be easier work. It's going to be better to do. You're going to be able to make money faster. It's going to put you in a good position. High Peaks Home says, I can't wait to have your camera confidence. Man, it's not confidence. It's just knowing what to do. I really do. The three things I just said, look dead center of that camera. And sometimes if you want to, you can literally shift around to different cameras. You keep looking at it. You know what's going on. You know where you're going to be. And if you'll do that, it makes it easy. And listen to me, I'm talking to you. If you do it, there's not a lot to it. I like that. That kind of rhymes too. If you do it, there's not a lot to it. But you've got to know where to look, when to look. But the reason I do like I do, I always focus on this camera. And then whenever I go to other cameras, I don't always look at them, because I don't want to just follow cameras around. I want to give y'all a different look, a different view of me, maybe a different vibe, something like that. But when I've got something serious to say, I bring it right back to where I'm looking you in the eye. And it's not hard, guys. But the three big rules on video: look them in the eye, say you, because you're only talking to one person, and talk to them like they're your best friend. And that's why, look, I love what y'all do for me. Each and every one of you, by coming in, by watching my videos, by commenting, by giving me a thumbs up, y'all are telling YouTube, hey, I like what this guy does. And when you tell YouTube that, YouTube helps me by putting me in front of more people. So it's a great thing. And I really do appreciate every one of you. Danny Martin Jr., you are welcome. And then the last one, and this will pretty much wrap it up for this evening. But the last one is SEO. And I want you to think about this, because if you work for yourself, you want 5-star reviews. You want to ask for them. You want to make sure that you're asking for them all the time, but not just a review. I want you to get specific. If I were asking each one of y'all for a review right now, I would say, okay, Danny Martin, I got you up. I'd say, Danny, look, is the work that I've done here today, is that worth a 5-star review? Because I let you know when I got here, that's what I was striving for. And if you say, yeah, Roger, you did fantastic, then Danny, can I get you to go over to my Google My Business page? It's Roger Wakefield LLC. And if you'll go over there and click on it and write a review, the things I would like you to put in is mention my name. It was great learning from Roger Wakefield today. And, since I'm nationwide, put whatever city you're in, because the algorithm is going to help people in that city find it better. So you're in San Francisco, say. So Danny, if you'll put, it was great learning from Roger Wakefield today in San Francisco. I have learned so much about plumbing, becoming a better plumber, starting my own company, and learning to use social media to grow my business. It was fantastic. And the reason being is, guys, if you put reviews like that, or you get your customers to put reviews like that on Google, well, Google is the biggest search engine in the world. And people get exactly what they're looking for on Google. So when somebody comes in and searches, plumbing, training, San Francisco, well, Google's going to pull your review up and say, hey, this guy here says Roger did great at it. Gave him a 5-star review. That's what it wants to put in front of people. So the things that we talked about are networking. Man, get out and build a network, grow your business. Master networks, highly recommended. Network after work. It's been great for me. I love it when I go out of town. If I can find a network after work event going on, I go to it. So networking, social media, get on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, wherever you want to get. I started on YouTube and got good at it. Then I started branching off into other things. But learning to do social media the right way is fantastic. Then look at video. You need to own video, however it takes. It may start off with just a phone. You may say, you know what, I don't want to do video. But you know what? If you've got a phone, it's really easy to do. And while you're doing video, you need to remember you're only talking to one person at a time, and you want to look them in the eye. And while you're looking them in the eye, you want to talk to you. That's right. I'm talking to you. And then, well, talk to them like they're your best friend. The last one is SEO. Don't be afraid to ask for reviews when you're teaching, coaching, consulting, training, whatever it is you're doing. If I want to see if I can find something here. Sorry, I am trying to find something on Google here. I put up so many videos. Sometimes I look at stuff and it comes up and I'm like, why did I do that? Okay, well, I can't find it. You know what? I do know why. No, that still didn't do it. Let me try one more thing here. Still won't come up. Man, oh man. Okay, what I'm looking for, I created a Google My Business page for rogerwakefield.com. And that's what I was trying to find, and it won't come up. So nope. Oh, take that back. Now try that. Nope, too many. So anyway, a lot of times you can put in links and say, look, I'd really love for you to give us a review. Will you go here and do it? So it does. It makes a really, really big difference. So I'm gonna go through these last few comments here. Alex McCormick says, just hired a mechanically inclined individual after training some one-on-one for 2 years. Have an issue with my old employee, thinking the new one isn't up to par. Here's the thing. You need to get your old employees help involved in the training too, to see. But if you only knew how long it took to train him, look, I get it. Oh, sorry. There's the first one there, and there's the deal. Here's the thing. Yeah, we all learn at different levels. We all learn at different speeds. To be honest, I probably could have got my plumbing exam passed my plumbing exam after about a year and a half. But I studied. I asked questions every day. That's a big deal. Because now they're saying, look, it takes 4 years to get that same license. And I'm like, that would have kept me out of plumbing. I just said, yeah, I'm not waiting that long. So anyway, just something to think about. But we all learn different. I'd ask to get them involved. Well, what do y'all think they need to learn to help them, and let them be part of it? Alex Peaks Home says, Alex, oh, High Peak Home. Sorry about that. Says, Alex, I always tell my employees that each of you are on your own path. Don't compare yourself to the others. And here's the deal too. And this is something, and I love this. So thank you for putting that in there. Here's one thing that people look at. It's like, wait, he's horrible. Well, okay. What were you like on your 30th day? What were you like on your 300th day? And we're all different. So it's kind of tough, but man, I like the idea of maybe getting them involved and see if that helps. There you go. Michael Omby says, you're the man. Plumbers unite. Man, plumbers of the world, I think, are united. That's a neat deal. So, guys, I am getting ready to shut it down. I can't tell if y'all hear me coughing. I'm not getting enough cold water down my throat. I want to say thank you to Chris, Construction Cronies, Architectural Sheet Metal, if they were in here, Sean Strong, Steve Arloa, even though he's not in here, Dustin Stelzer, Electrician U, and I don't know why your comment's not coming up over here. Oh, there it is. Lucidity says, yo, I'm a brand new plumber and I love your content. And thank you very much. Guys, if you love my content, if you love what we do, please like this video. Please share it. Share it to people and let them know what we're doing. I am literally trying to help bring people into the trades because, man, we need help. We need a lot of people. Thank you, Roger, for your channel. I watch daily, my friend. Thank you, Michael. And Lucidity says, thanks for the videos. I do more first and second rough. Good for you. High Peaks, thank you. Guys, I really appreciate each and every one of y'all getting in here today. It's fantastic. Roy Fox says it's a runoff of Google Maps now. Yeah, it's I gotta find it. I'll find it next week and put the link in it and talk to y'all about it because it really helps a lot. But anyway, I want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all. I do appreciate you being in here. If you're looking for something specific, jump over to the channel, search the videos, and if you find anything you like, please share it. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, helping you make more money in the trades.